Should you start playing Maplestory in 2025? With a bunch of new updates coming to Maplestory in the next few months, a bunch of players are going to be returning or potentially thinking about playing Maplestory. I'm assuming you know what Maplestory is, but for those who don't, Maplestory is a side-scrolling MMORPG with tons of progression avenues and bossing content. And in today's video, we're going to discuss, should you start or resume playing Maplestory in 2025? So the short answer is yes, but let me explain why. Over the past few years, this game has been up and down in terms of playability, but over the past couple of years, they've actually alleviated a ton of features players disliked and improved features that players did like. Before we get into this video, I just want to say this video is not sponsored. We have no affiliation with Nexon. We have no connections with Nexon. No, we're not paid to make this video. With that being said, let's get into it. The progression of this game currently, in my opinion, feels absolutely amazing. We have hyperburns that are coming every few months to the game that really boost a new player's account or a returning player or even an end game player's account. Now, what even is a hyperburn? A hyperburn is essentially a boosted character that you can create. This hyperburn is going to give you free rewards, and now you're going to get 5 levels for every single level up all the way to 260, which will then open up 6 job for players. If you don't know what 6 job is, it is essentially a new job tier that adds a ton of damage and is easily progressible through farming / dailies. We also don't have many progression halters, which some of you know if you used to play this game and are thinking about potentially getting back into this game. Hour of Oz has been completely removed, and you now get Oz rings passively through bossing. I know that's like a super old thing, but a lot of players used to do this, and if they're thinking about getting back into the game, this will definitely change their mind. Familiars have now been added to all regions. You no longer have to go back, halt your main's progression, and farm familiars on a mule or an alt character. You now get familiars passively as you grind, as you train, because these have been added into every single grandest region. This is by far one of the best changes, and this was a more recent change that Maplestory added. Dailies now give a ton of EXP. You have Monster Park Extreme, you have Monster Park Regular, you have Symbol Dailies, you have the weeklies, doing the weekly dungeons that are going to give you a ton of EXP fragments. So if you are a player that doesn't have a lot of time, but you do want to play Maplestory and you haven't found it that easy to progress back in the day, well, now it's more easy than ever to play this game if you don't have a ton of time. And if you are a grinder, you can sit and farm all day long and gain EXP on your main. There's also unlimited progression avenues for new or returning players. If you want to grind your main up and you just love farming and you just love training your main, you have that option. You have a system called Legion, which allows you to train characters and increase your passive stats on your account. You can make alt characters to ultimately fund your main through bossing. The progression seems pretty much endless nowadays and actually feels pretty rewarding. Also, the progression isn't for nothing. New bosses have been added to make leveling actually feel worth it now. We have Kalos, Cowling, Black Mage, bosses like Chaos Slime, Saren, and all the way to now Hard Limbo. All of these bosses, especially through the mid game, are going to drop you guys valuable loot to give your character a ton of damage. There's also tiers to these bosses, so you're going to be able to progress to the next tier if you feel like you are strong enough. We also, on top of all of this, we have also gotten a new GMS Director that is in charge of changes for global Maplestory, which ensures that we always don't get one-to-one changes from KMS, as some of these changes could be detrimental to GMS. For example, the Miso cap or the Soul Urta cap that we went through last year or KMS removing the reboot servers from their game. We kept all of that stuff. This has allowed our version of the game to continually improve while also getting the great stuff from other versions of the game. Now, obviously, everything in this game isn't always great and amazing. There are things that aren't so great about the game, and we're going to talk about those now. The new player experience is definitely going to feel very overwhelming. There is a ton of stuff to do, and when you drop into the game, sometimes the game isn't the best at telling you what to do or how to do things. You may feel like there's a lot to do at once, which there definitely is, but nowadays we have a ton of resources even on our channel, or if you can't find it on our channel, you can always go to YouTube, search what you're looking for, and I'm sure you can find a guide. The Maplestory website itself also has a ton of resources now. It has a whole glossary, it has like a whole ass encyclopedia, so if you need something, Control F, look what you're looking for, and I'm sure you can find it there. Now, the new player experience isn't the only thing that isn't that great. The cash shop is something that I am not a fan of, and really hoping that this will change. I don't like that you're not able to transfer NX to other characters, especially in Reboot. It really does feel bad to be limited to the NX on one character or one job branch of character. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's just take example a Explorer job branch. All of those Explorers can share the same cash shop, but that Explorer cannot transfer its NX to a Cygnus Knight through the cash shop, which feels really bad because if you want a main swap, you can't really swap those around. We did just recently get a Steam Market NX shop, which was absolutely amazing. We were able to buy whatever we wanted from the Steam Market. Unfortunately, that is closed. I'm really hoping and praying that they bring that back because I thought that was one of the best things that they have added to alleviate this whole NX transfer situation. On top of the NX not being transferable, back pets being on sale for only a few months out of the year needs to change as well. This is something that I don't like, and I think it's actually really bad for the game. Back pets are the one pay to win feature in Reboot. It's one of the best quality of life that we've gotten in a long time. Yes, it is behind a paywall, but if you are thinking about seriously playing this game, back pet is definitely worth it. But like I said, it's not always on sale, so if you do think about playing this game and you don't see a vac pet in the cash shop, that can be very frustrating, especially if you're someone who just wants to start grinding and you can't buy the vac pet. I think vac pets need to be on sale 24/7, 365 days out of the year. I don't see why or how that could lose them money, but that's something I do not like. Also, at the later ends of the game, this is not really a complaint. This is pretty much in any single MMO, but the end game, the progression gets very slow, and the RNG for gains becomes higher and higher. But that is something that they talked about alleviating in the future, so we're gonna wait and see. Personally, these are the only things that I'm not the biggest fan of about the game currently. But honestly, every game is going to have negatives and aspects people don't like. But I 100% think that the positives really outweigh the negatives. And I think you absolutely should play Maplestory in 2025 if you're thinking about coming back to the game or even starting fresh. I think now is the best time ever to play this game, and I have hopes that it's only going to get better from here. That being said, we have a ton of stuff to look forward to if you are thinking about getting back into the game. We have the Hyperburn coming up. We have new events, new 6 job coming up, and we have the new KMS Summer Showcase coming in just a couple of weeks. There is a ton of stuff to look forward to. If you're thinking about getting back into the game, now is the best time ever in my opinion. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I know there are going to be a lot of players that are thinking of coming back to this game. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, leaving a like on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.